Hi, I'm Vicky.
Hi, I am Devendra.
So today we will discuss about the history of cancer cure therapies.
What are cancer cells?
Cancer cells are just like normal cells except they multiply wildly.
But the fact is that they are so normal that body sometimes fail to detect the foreign invasion.
It is only when tumors grow at such length that a lump is formed and we become aware that something is wrong.
With the passage of time, treatment of cancer has gone some evolutionary changes.
In fact, tumor removal surgeries have been documented in ancient Egypt. But nowadays, more popular methods include chemotherapy, radiation therapy, hormonal therapy, and blah blah many more therapies.
So let's move further and discuss more about the cancer cure therapies, how they appeared on the surface of Earth.
So the story starts with World War II. The day was 22nd December 1943, where German bombers attacked on Allied forces and ships on a place called Bari in Italy. This attack lasted 60 minutes, where nearly more than 27 ships were destroyed. Although chemical weapons have been banned due to World War I treaty, but USA here was a transgression. So, out of destroyed ships, one ship was SS John Harvey. Secretly, it contained cargo of mustard gas. This has been carried by USA for potential retaliatory use, just in case if Germans go too far. So this mustard gas fell all over place. It poisoned 628 people, initially with blindness and chemical burns, out of which 83 people died later. लेकिन कुछ लोगों ने इसमें भी अतरंगी ढूंढ लिया. उन्होंने सोचा इस गैस का इंसानों पे क्या असर होगा.
And fortunately, they had the perfect platform for that.
So Navy sent a team of chemical experts. In that team, there was a man, Stuart Francis Alexander, and what he observed was overlooked by most of others. He saw that mustard gas slowed down the creation of white blood cells that are exposed to it, and he led to a conclusion that we can produce some derivative of mustard gas that could be useful in fighting cancer. Lo and behold, chemotherapy का जन्म हुआ.
But chemo was only a one side of a dice.
Before that, radium therapy was in trend. After invention of radium by Marie and Pierre Curie in 1898, it is thought to have radium products could be widely used in medication. There was a young industrialist called Alexander Bayer. In 1906, a mature golf champion and famous for overactive libido. In 1927, due to injured arm in an accident, a doctor suggested him a medicine called Radithor, which was nothing but a diluted radium, which Alexander continued to take for next 3 years, during which he had taken more than 1400 doses. But soon it began to feel as if his head was slowly softening and dissolving. And one day, out of a sudden, his jaw dropped, leading to a slow and painful death.
He was not the only victim. There is another forgotten story of Radium Girls.
In 1920, radium watches were in fashion, as Instagram is nowadays. Watchmaking industries employed 2,000 women to paint the dials, but the paint brushes needed to get pointed with lips every time. Later sometime it was widely calculated that average dial painting woman literally swallowed a teaspoon of radioactive material within a week. There was so much of radium in their bodies that some girls noticed that they glowed in dark. Some of them died, or some of them became so weak that they lost their legs spontaneously while being on dance floor.
But then an optimistic experiment was on arrival.
When a woman called Gunda, not this Gunda, this one, Gunda Lawrence, a teacher and homemaker, was near to death due to abdominal cancer. But she has two extraordinary sons, John, a gifted physician, and Ernest, one of the brilliant physicists who was also the head of radiation lab at Berkeley. This was the time when the cyclotron was just invented. So with the most powerful X-ray machine that can produce millions of volts, what they did was truly remarkable. They aimed a deuteron directly on their mother's belly. It was so gruesome experience that she actually begged her sons to die rather than going through it. But they persisted with their effort in spite of their mother crying in front of machine. Happily after some time, her cancer started reducing and she lived for next 22 years.
Thus, a new field of cancer treatment had been born.
तो ये थी आज की कहानियाँ. इसी तरीके से हम आपके लिए प्रयोग की कहानियाँ लाते रहेंगे. Stay tuned.